So my question to you is kind of like, do you remember and how do you develop your sense of fairness, and how
Oh,
does it still kind of stick with you in your life now and in your politics? And do you still remember the one time that you got done real dirty, where you remember like, oh man, that's fucked up. Like I'll never forget that, and that's also stayed with you a little bit.
yeah, right. Um, yeah, so yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think that in some ways actually, what a little bit of that, right? Like I could probably remember a few of those stories, but I think that probably what sticks with me more so than more so than the sort of times that I feel like I was screwed over, treated unfairly, are times, that like I felt like you know, times that like I sort of realized that I'd treated other people that way, right? And like because I think that I this is an exaggeration, but like I'll sometimes joke that like my long-term memory is just like a gag reel of shit I feel embarrassed about. But the but I guess yeah, like I can, because I can like really remember like times like even just like playing with my little brother or whatever, that like when I sort of realized it's like, oh yeah, that was, that like I was being a little bit of a, like it's like, oh, I don't know, heads I win, tails you lose, like kind of that like when I could kind of catch myself in retrospect acting that way, that's probably, what stuck with me a little bit more than the other way around. But that is true, right? Like I have I do say that a lot. I don't know why, but I remember somebody joking a while back that if I ever, introduce different levels of my like Patreon, one of them should be fair enough, uh, I actually had I don't think this is entirely, I don't think this is true, but I had a ex-girlfriend who used to be convinced that like when I said fair enough, like that was just my way of saying, okay, that all sounds like bullshit, but all right, like, oh,
That's what people have told me. Like that they think that I'm just being like dismissive, and I'm just saying,
no, no,
I'm
no, I
saying
really
no,
don't.
and I'm saying no. It's just like for me, I don't know. I guess it's a way of saying, it's like if we're creating a common law with our
Yeah,
language, and I'm just saying fair enough to whatever we're talking about. Let's kind of keep going. Like we're all good. It's that's why I
yeah,
took it, but
yeah.
some people
No,
say that
no, I
is.
think I think so, right? I think that like yeah, I think most of the time I say it right. I think I just made like, okay, I hear what you're saying, that's fine. Like keep, let's keep going, like yeah. But it is definitely something that I say a lot. I mean, I think that um yeah, I mean, I guess also like in some ways the last couple of things you said are a little bit related because like I think I've probably always been, I don't know, not always, a long time, right? Been somebody who both like gets bored when everybody's agreeing with each other, right? That like I sort of want there to be some opposition or like what's the point? But like at the same time, I'm not at all somebody who like, like even if I'm doing like a actual, I mean, not like the Marx thing, which is like a sort of like, okay, we have different perspectives and that's part of what will make the class fun, but it's also, like, I think that there are, I think the stuff Marx got wrong. I think Thaddeus appreciates certain things about Marx, like it's a, it's definitely like part of the, charm of the idea of the class comes from the fact that that is like, that's just more interesting, right? That you have those opposing perspectives, but I guess but like even if I'm doing like actual like debates or whatever, right? Like there's a way that people do that sometimes. I think maybe especially like in the era of YouTube, that's like all about like sort of having the like, I don't know, like snappy clapbacks or whatever. And I just never done any of that shit. Like that's just not interesting to me. Like I don't want to um I don't want to like, win that like 10 seconds, like
Yeah.
rhetorically, because what I want to do is to like show you that there's something wrong with the argument, or try to get you to see why I see things the way that I see them, or something like that. And so I think that's the kind of combination that like I'm not like, I've like I've debated some people that like, look, if you asked me like one-on-one, right, off camera, having a couple drinks, like I would agree are, pretty shitty human beings, right? Like I don't, but like what I'm talking, but I'm still gonna be like, but I'm still gonna be extremely polite, when I'm talking to them, because like I don't really, part of that's just personality, but part of it's on purpose, because I don't want the like I don't think that really serves anything, right? To have the focus be on this kind of like WWE but with words, like kind of like like sort of personality clash, right? Like I think it's way more interesting and way more productive if the focus is on like, here's exactly what's wrong with the argument they're making right now.